race 7, the Miss Andretti Stakes, 4:30 listed race, 1,200 metres. Now, this is a $100,000 race, punters, but let me tell you, this is the race of the day.
Yep.
An absolute cracker. We've got, London and all that form out of the WATC Stakes. We've got Revolution resuming. Colour Correct last start was a 3rd in the Railway Stakes. Spitfire Race last start 3rd in the Hyperion. And then you have horses like Estiarte and On the Carpet, progressive types that are ready for this big test in their careers. So form lines from everywhere. Let's roll some tape. Have a look at the WATC Stakes race. Saw a brilliant return to racing by London. The unlucky Shock Value 3rd and Escudero splitting the pair.
London, the favourites in a fair bit of bother back in the field as Escudero looms up to Stratozoa going past the 200. Escudero hits the front, breaks clear. London gives chase. Shock Value's coming down the outside. London's hauling and Escudero hits the lead. London gets to Escudero and London wins.
Wonderful return there by London. He tracked wide approaching the swing for home. Once Sean O'Donnell put the finger on the go button, he really let down with a powerful finishing burst. Escudero, he travelled very strongly throughout the event, Marty. I thought he battled on hard, and obviously Shock Value was unlucky, finishing in 3rd position. Other runners in the race, Dane's Mystery was in 4th position. The effort wasn't too bad, and Stratozoa finished in 6th place. They're probably just that rung below these other horses. London was just outstanding. Second up, 2 starts, 2 wins. Escudero's got the good second up record,
yes.
Also 6 starts for 4 wins.
It's probably a bit fresh first up.
Yeah, he did over race a little, and Shock Value was the unlucky runner, but from barrier 1 he's going to need a bit of luck once again.
All right, go to the trials here. Have a look at Revolution. This is on the 22nd of March. It was a good trial day. And Revolution was simply outstanding out in front, blows them away. Look for Colour Correct getting home strongly into second position.
Second last, inside the 200, Revolution being nursed, leads the way from Kim Currency. Colour Correct putting in the big bounds down the outside, and then Corporate Sam. Revolution is going sweetly out in front. In second place, Colour Correct, but super trial by Revolution under a good hold, and Revolution is back.
Super trial performance there by both gallopers. Revolution was in the lead. Brad Parnham shook him up approaching the swing for home. He sprinted powerfully. Lucas Camilleri aboard Colour Correct. He was back. He was wide. He made a run around him approaching the swing for home. Hit the line extremely well. On Saturday, Revolution's drawn 1,200 metres first up, probably against him. Colour Correct has drawn barrier 13. I think they're going to have to ride him back, and I think he'll be the horse steaming over the top of him.
Massive pace here. Revolution. You'll also want On the Carpet, Stratozoa. Now, Spitfire Race has won, 14 back to 12, Harvey Owen. I just hope Paul says, right, there's enough pace for me just to get a nice cuddly one out, one back type run. And if he lobs, there's got to be awfully hard to beat. I think Shock Value, they're going to have to try and use barrier 1 and get up behind Revolution. Who else is there? Comic Hero's got to go forward and have a little look. So there's about 6 or 7 genuine on-pace runners, which will guarantee this to be a quickly run Miss Andretti. Tempo-wise at least, whether or not they run a fast time overall, because I think the conditions on the day, 23 degrees by that time of the day, should be a healthy sou'wester in, and maybe the horses back in the field can play a part. I think just behind that pair will be London. You know, if you have a look at the start of the WATC Stakes, it jumped from that outside barrier, wanted to be there and had to be anchored back, and it can be chewing steel right behind them. I think if Spitfire Race has ridden that way, it's got to be hard to beat. And the one, as you rightly said, Matt, who could be steaming right down the outside late is Colour Correct. Super race.
Very good race.
Trying to nail them in the right positions. I'm going to go again with number 1, London. I just thought he'd come back bigger, stronger, better than ever. Same weight turns in this race and should just get the right run. 6 Spitfire Race and 5 Colour Correct are my next 2 in the tipping, so it's 1, 6 and 5. O'Donnell's elected to ride London instead of Spitfire Race. There's a couple of those. Willie Pike jumps On the Carpet and jumps off Escudero. Is there any others? Any musical chairs you can see there?
No, that's, you've sort of summed it up pretty well there,
mate.
Bit
fired up about today, aren't we? We're up and running.
I think it's great.
Come on, well, give me something.
I'm tipping 5 Colour Correct.
Yeah, well, it's your horse.
And
it is your horse, man.
I'm tipping him, and I've actually got a bit of confidence about him as well, because, 3rd placing in the Railway Stakes, that's very good form for a race like this. He's just going to need some luck from the barrier. With this hot speed on, the speed map man yourself has predicted, we all know what sort of sectionals he can run, and I think he'll be charging home. London's the horse to beat. Can't leave out 12 shock value, and Escudero second up just flies. So one of many chances you'll get value about whatever you like, but for me I'm going 5 Colour Correct to beat 12 shock value, 1 London, 2 Escudero.
And the big thing about Spitfire Ace is that he's dropping from 59 kilos in the Hyperion, where he tore away and was a sitting duck for Tarzi and Marasco to haul in late, drops to 54.5, drops from Wait for Age to a listed race, and Paul Harvey takes over. If he's been able to come through all these hard runs, because he's gone back and won the Mungerup Sprint, second in the Pinjarra Classic, third in the Bunbury Stakes, third in the Hyperion, if there's still something left in the tank, I think he's going to run a mighty race.
Yep, I couldn't agree more, Marty. I think you've summed it up well. That's a great race, very good race.